Liberty Falls is in quite a weird state right now. It has the job of being the second map to Terminus, and while Terminus is getting all this praise, even from me, Liberty Falls kind of got sat in the back. It's really just on the bench right now. Nobody really cares about it. And while I can understand why, I think it's a return to basics for most zombie players, as we haven't gotten a bonus map in 4, 5, 6 years at this point. So today we're going to give Liberty Falls some of that spotlight and talk about how it's a return to basics for zombies and really a good foundation for what's to come if we are to get a lot more post content. My name is Dark Ops and today we're talking all about Liberty Falls. Now, when I say return to basics, what I mean is that it's more of a good foundation for those who don't want to play a complicated map all the time. Now, of course, that's how they described it, but most of us, including me, were kind of let down by the actual map design and the lack of meaningful side quests. Terminus has plenty, but Liberty Falls is quite empty in that regard. And yeah, this is a letdown. It is a letdown for sure. However, I think our expectations were a bit overhyped by the actual events surrounding Liberty Falls. Now, what I mean by this is that Liberty Falls was of course revealed at a COD event, COD Next. And when you get a reveal like that, you gotta bring your big A guns, you gotta bring your AAA guns here. So when you reveal Liberty Falls at an event like that, you kind of set expectations. Expectations are supposed to be high with Liberty Falls because that was chosen over Terminus, okay? Terminus had its own trailer, but Liberty Falls got its own event dedicated to that map. So when you have an event like that, our expectations are going to be high. And when the map launched, it's kind of a letdown, really. It's not really all that impressive. Now, sure, okay, it is a bonus map. It is not the main map. Terminus is that map. Okay, fine, totally, I can believe it. I totally understand. And if we go back to the past, like Black Ops 3, we had the Giant and we had Shadows of Evil. However, the difference there is that the Giant didn't get its own event. Shadows of Evil was revealed, and of course the entire, how big that map was, it got all of the spotlight. And it also helps that Shadows of Evil was on the disc while the Giant was DLC. But my point still stands that Shadows of Evil stood up on its own, and the Giant could be something that people could knock onto if they really wanted to. But with Liberty Falls, it got an event, and because of it, expectations were set high in the air and ultimately fell down just a bit from where it should have been. So, with that background said, is this map bad? Not necessarily. It's not trash. It's not a bad map, okay? It is pretty average overall. It is a basic map, as the title suggests. This is a back-to-basics map. Very simple. There's a few perks, Pack-a-Punch, and the Easter egg is ridiculously easy. But at least it has an Easter egg, right? It is very much a linear map. It is a small map for those wanting that. And it does it. But I just wish it had a little more flavor. You get what I'm saying? It is a back-to-basics map where it doesn't have much flavor, it doesn't have much going on, but it is good for grinding camos and just having a chill time. It gets that job done well, which is what I think it has to be commended for compared to Terminus, where you're constantly on edge, you're constantly having to have your hands on the control, you gotta constantly be on, running from the zombies, the bosses. It is a very much map you gotta be awake to play. Whereas with Liberty Falls, you've got to, you can chill, you can relax a bit. You have a lot of open space with Liberty Lanes, you don't have to constantly be going through islands and stuff. Very much a more mellowed out map. So it does deserve that commemoration in that it is a very chill out map. So I think the expectations surrounding it were just a bit too high from what we were supposed to be getting, and that was definitely a major mistake for the reveal of this map. Now, as for how the actual map plays, it is as basic as I've told you. You just go to Pack-a-Punch, and that's pretty much it. The power, there is no power. You don't have to worry about power. You just have to go to Pack-a-Punch. That's all you've got to do and get your perks. There's only 5 or 6 on the map, if I'm correct. So it's a very simple setup, and it does all that just fine. But that is the issue I think people are having. It's that it's just fine. It's not above average. It's not below average. It's just average. It's not particularly bad at anything, but it's not particularly good at anything. It's right in the middle. So if we go back to the past, we can compare it to other bonus maps, for example, like the Giant again. The Giant has the benefit of being a remaster of Doris. Now, Doris, I think, does have a better layout than Liberty Falls, I'm just going to be honest. However, Liberty Falls does have many more things to actually do. There's more side quests by a long shot. And yeah, that does give it more of an edge over Doris. However, Doris has that nostalgia. It has the fact that you're playing as the Terminus crew, whereas Liberty Falls has no crew. And of course, it's the fact that a lot of people are playing it over Shadows of Evil, which was a massive map. And Terminus is the map that most people are playing compared to Liberty Falls. So it's kind of a reverse of Black Ops 3, where people are playing the bonus map over the original map. This time, people are playing the original map over the bonus map. So you can see why a lot of people just aren't playing the actual map, because Terminus is taking all that spotlight. However, I think Liberty Falls has some shine. I think it has some liberty, no pun intended, to the map that even Terminus doesn't offer. For example, the actual map layout, I think, while worse, significantly worse, I think does have more open space overall, because on Terminus, the spawns are fucked. And this goes to both maps as well. But on Liberty Falls, I feel like I have more maneuverability. I feel like I can move around a little bit more, while on Terminus, you do have to kind of play on some of the islands. You have to constantly run around, and often with the spawns, you've got to constantly be running. Whereas with Liberty Falls, you've got a bit more space to work with. It's all grounded, so you do have a lot more space to actually move around. Like areas like Liberty Lanes, for example. Liberty Lanes being a huge open bowling alley, which also has its own side quest, is a great area to play in. Not to mention aesthetically, it looks great. Something that's underestimated about this map is how, for people who want a town-based map like myself, I actually like the aesthetic of the map. It's just the color palette that doesn't really do it justice. Now, there are some areas that do have a strong color palette, like inside the church, and the actual Liberty Lanes does have a great color palette, but the rest of the map is generally gray, which is why you're going to often see people complaining about the colors, and it doesn't look like zombies, it looks like Warzone, blah blah blah. But the actual map itself does have areas of shine, like Liberty Lanes, the church. Hell, even some of the actual buildings do have real good design. The actual Juggernaut area has great design in terms of look and colors. It does that well, and Liberty Falls does it in great areas sometimes. There are great areas that do have really good design overall. It's just that in comparison to Terminus, which we're going to keep doing back and forth a little bit, is the fact that it's just a tad worse. However, as its own map, as its own experience, it does have some shine, and I think it needs to be exposed more, because this is a back to basics map that will do most people in the more casual audience. It will get most casual audiences into zombies. The actual core experience of zombies is in this map. The core experience of Black Ops 6 Zombies is here. So I think that's what matters here, is the core experience, because when you got a casual audience who's willing to play that map, you've got an audience who are going to be willing to come back for more. So that's what Treyarch really nails here. Now, am I saying this map is better than Terminus? Absolutely not. Am I saying it's better than other bonus maps? Absolutely not. But what I am saying is that as its own map, as a basic rooted map, it does just fine. And you shouldn't be worried if you're thinking about playing this map and you said, oh, well, some YouTubers said it looks bad. I've seen people who think it looks like crap. Go play it for yourself. Trust me, it will do just fine. It doesn't have any of the bells and whistles of Terminus, but it doesn't really matter for the core audience it's aiming for. If you want those bells and whistles, go play Terminus. Terminus is a fantastic map, and it's on the game at launch, so you can go play that map. But for those who are casual, who are looking for a casual experience, the core experience, it's still here, and it will do you just fine. Now, there are some issues with the actual map that I personally dislike, but we're not talking about that today. We're just talking about the basic route of Liberty Falls, and it's just fine, okay? No need to panic. It does you just fine. So I think for the most people, it's going to do just okay, but if you really want that experience with the bells, whistles, everything in zombies that has to offer, go play Terminus. It will do you just fine. Now, I am reaching about the end of the video here because Liberty Falls is, again, a small map. There's not too much to talk about. The amount of side quests are still being discovered right now, so we don't know every single little crook and cranny. But that's pretty much going to be it from me. If you are afraid about this map, or you think this map isn't going to be good, play it for yourself. It's just okay, and it does right if you just want the core experience and nothing else. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please slap that like button and subscribe. I could always use a new addition to the Dark Ops army. And share this video as well. I'd like to see what your opinions are of this map. If you prefer it over Terminus, let me know in the comments below. Or if you think Terminus is better, please let me know. I read all your comments. So thank you guys for watching this video. This is Dark Ops, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for the support recently as well. I haven't been really saying much on that, but thank you guys for the support. It's been doing really, really well on the channel, and I love all of you guys who are liking and just watching my videos. I absolutely love it. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Dark Ops signing off.